everyone. Jeez. It's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 18, episode 6, coming to you live from the living room again. What is new with you? How have things been? What has gone on with me this week? Painting, gardening, cleaning, visiting with friends, and having my carpal tunnel surgery on this wrist. So I had this one done in October. You can see it's really healed really well. And my microphone should be working this time. I tested it before. And so now I have this. I got this done on Friday, just before noon or around noon. Before noon. Anyways, so I had to keep on the big bandage for 48 hours, which would have been like noon today. But I thought I would do, well, first of all, the pink on it seems to match my shirt. And second of all, I thought I'd take it off with you guys. Also, today is Father's Day, both in the UK and in Canada. So, ode to my father. I really need to get this picture reprinted and done better because it's gone, from the sun bleach and stuff. It just looks even extra red in it. But so happy Father's Day to my papa in heaven, my brother in heaven, who is also a father, and you can see Steve's dad back there as well. Steve's dad, Pierce, and then Chris, his stepdad, was over today with mom and all of our kids to celebrate Father's Day with Steve. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, or the father-like figures in people's lives. You all matter. So yes. So I'm going to take this off. This is actually Steve's book. It says Best Dad Ever. He got that for his birthday, but I thought it would make a nice little tribute to fathers. Steve did have a good Father's Day. Like I said, all the kids were here, and that's the first and most important thing you can ask for. And I don't remember how this was done last time. I don't remember it having like bandage tape on top of it, which is not coming off easily. I mean, I could just start taking it off over the top. Like this. So they said after 48 hours, I could take the big bandage off. I have to leave the smaller bandage on for 2 weeks, unless it's manky, like gross, then I can change it with another one like that. And they gave me extras, and I have to keep the small one on for 2 weeks, and then within that time, I have to make an appointment with my doctor surgery that's what they call it here, doctor surgery, at my doctor's office, to get my stitches removed after 2 weeks. So when I'm allowed to take the small bandage off is when I get my stitches out. Oh, there's supposed to be a garbage right here, but it's over by Steve's chair right now from opening gifts today. All right, so let's see how this is. Unwrapping my present. It actually has healed way faster and been less painful than this one was, which is wonderful. And I've kept it clean and dry, and I've done my exercises, and you got to keep it elevated. So I've kept it like this or on a pillow, like elevated the whole time, and doing my exercises. And then the other thing that I have to do is, once I am allowed to take off the other bandage, massage put lotion on and massage massage and put lotion on, and it'll help so it doesn't scar as much. Okay, so besides all the fuzz on me from that second bandage I took off, that is what I'm left with. And this is just iodine on my hands, because I had to keep it clean and dry, so I have washed the iodine off of my fingers, but not on here. I still need to keep this part clean and dry, but I can use a cloth to wipe off the rest of my hands and stuff. So almost done. And like I said, the surgery has gone well. Within 2 hours of getting there and being in recovery, the surgery's gone well. The healing seems to be going well. And like I said, we're already 2 days in, and I can take off the big bandage. So So don't be afraid if you are supposed to get this surgery. I can't say what it's like anywhere else. I had the same surgeon for both hands here in the UK at Leighton Hospital. So Dr. Chaudhry, like Chaudry. Yeah. So what else? I have, okay, so books. Again, I've been listening to books like crazy, especially while I'm working in the garden or cleaning. And some of them, I just printed off pictures of the covers because I told you guys before with all the, when Jackie and Steve closed the Feathers location, they had a bunch of books and they were giving them to the spiritual church, which they're not part of, but they were giving to the spiritual church. I got to go through all of them first to see what I wanted. Some of them I actually wanted the actual book, and some of them I thought, well, I'll just fancy reading that, but I don't actually need the book. So those ones I brought home, took photos of, and gave the books to the spiritual church. But so I'm listening to some of those off of my hard drive, putting them onto my phone, and then listening to them. So those ones I just printed off the cover. I'm also low on ink in our printer, so it's not really good, but you know how I hold the book here? Let me move this as well. Cheers. So I told you guys about this one, The Artist's Way. This is a book that I bought Steve, and it is The Queen of Change, the classic course in discovering and rediscovering your creative self. I listened to the whole book, but it's like a 12-week process of like helping you to get back on track if you're having writer's block or a creative block, or just need some motivation to get back on track in life. I want to do the activities and exercises in here, and like I said, it's only 12 weeks, so I totally can do it, but for now I just listened to the whole thing. It is a lot of work that I've already done on myself, and I'm not necessarily stuck in life right now, but there's always room for improvement on ourselves, so there's no reason not to do it, especially some of the questions I may have never answered in my journals before. So it says, a revolutionary program for personal renewal. The Artist's Way will help you rediscover your passions and take the steps you need to change your life. Julia Cameron invented the way people renovate the creative soul. The New York Times. 3 times in the last decade, I've committed to doing the Artist's Way program, and each time I've learned something important and surprising about myself and my work. Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love. The other thing about this book is that it first came out in, there's a lot of other books in the Artist's Way series and such, but that's because this book, oh, my nose is itchy. Oh, it said starting a movement in 1992. Hailed by New York Times as the Queen of Change, Julia Cameron is credited with starting a movement in 1992 that has brought creativity into the mainstream conversation. In the arts, in business, and in everyday life, she is the best-selling author of more than 40 books, fiction and nonfiction, a poet, songwriter, filmmaker, and playwright, commonly referred to as the godmother or high priestess of creativity. Her tools are based in practice, not theory, and she considers herself the floor sample of her own toolkit. The Artist's Way has been translated into 40 languages and sold over 5 million copies to date. Okay, let's see what this is. The Artist's Way provides a 12-week course to guide you through the process of recovering your creative self. It aims to dispel the "I'm not talented enough" conditioning that holds many people back, and will help you unleash your inner artist. The program begins with Julia Cameron's most vital tools for creative recovery: the morning pages, a daily writing ritual. The morning pages are the daily writing ritual, so like doing some journaling in the mornings, and the artist date, a dedicated block of time to nurture your inner artist. From there, she shares hundreds of exercises, activities, and prompts to help readers thoroughly explore each chapter. She also offers guidance on starting a creative cluster of fellow artists who will support you in your creative endeavors. Its step-by-step approach enables you to transform your life, overcoming any artistic blocks you may suffer from, including limiting beliefs, fear, sabotage, jealousy, and guilt, and replace them with the self-confidence and productivity. Since its first publication, The Artist's Way has inspired millions of readers to demystify the creative process and open up opportunities for self-growth and self-discovery. A revolutionary program for personal renewal, The Artist's Way will help get you back on track, rediscover your passions, and take the steps you need to change your life. So, like I said, I am planning on doing this, and I will let you guys know how it's going in the weeks that I do use this. First published in Great Britain in 94, previously 2020, 2016, Julia 2020. So it looks like this one might be, oh yeah, this one is from 2020. But what I was going to say is because it was first done in 1992, is that what it said? Yeah, 1992. If you think about back in 1992, for those of us who are alive, all the self-help stuff and everything like that, that wasn't as big as it is nowadays. So at that time, this would have been an even bigger thing to motivate people and get them back on track. Since then, like I have read so many self-help books and so many different journaling things and stuff. So that's why for me, a lot of the stuff that she suggests I have tried, but not all of it. So, and like I said, there's always more room to work on ourselves. People wonder why or how I'm so confident or so whatever I am, but it's because I work on myself. So if you like who I am or you admire who I am, then, you know, I'm telling you the things that I do is constantly working on myself and trying to make me into the best version of me that there is, because there's only one of me and I have to live with me. So I might as well get me to be the best me that I am. But also, if we're here to learn and grow and help others, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be here and learn and grow and try and, you know, become a better all-round spirit while I'm here. So this one I definitely suggest. And I don't know when I'm going to start it, but if any of you guys want to join in with me and do this, let me know and we can do it together. It will be probably in a few weeks because I am going to start my workouts again. I know I keep saying that, but like literally I have the videos ready. I have the yoga mat ready, and I realize that this is healing, but I can still alter my workouts to just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you just work, if you have an injury or you have something like this, you just work around it so that you aren't missing your workout, but you're not making your injury worse. So we can work around this. So I am getting serious about life again, and what better thing to do. And honestly, journaling, whether you call it the morning pages and follow her stuff or just journaling in the mornings, making my to-do lists, just even journaling just a little bit. Like I said, even just sitting down to do my to-do lists in the morning makes me feel like I am focused and have a plan. And as I've said with my to-do list, sometimes at the end of the day or the next day, on the day before, I will write, even if it wasn't on my to-do list, but I did it, I'll write, you know, backlog, write things that I did and then cross them off as they're done, because I did them. They, you know, they should have been written down on my to-do list. And if they weren't, I still achieved those things. So you can look back and see that you're actually getting things done and you are achieving things. So, all right, so let's move on from that one. Next one. Now, this one I told you guys about last week or the week before. I bought it for my sisters to read, neither of which have read it yet, but my friend Zena is reading it now, and she ordered herself a copy of it. And I had sent my copy to someone, so I ordered a new copy for myself. So last week or the week before, I went like this to show you, and then I put a picture of it after. But because I ordered a new copy for myself, I have it here, and I can show you one of the best books that I found. It's a light read, short read, like it's not very big, and this is really great if you want to just have a little dabble in the afterlife, or maybe what some people might believe happens after we die. It's called The Afterlife of Billy Fingers. And I'm sure I told you the synopsis, but how my bad boy brother proved to me there's life after death. A fresh, uplifting, thoroughly modern account of life after death. I wholeheartedly recommend you read this, says Gordon Smith. So this is by Annie Kagan, and I just want to see what year it actually came out. Copyright 2014. That's the year I moved here. So 11 years ago. And a few weeks after his death, William Cohen, aka Billy Fingers, woke his sister Annie at dawn. I'm drifting weightlessly through these glorious stars and galaxies, and I feel a divine presence, a kind, loving, what? Beneficent. Yeah, beneficent. I'm not, okay. Beneficent presence twinkling all around me. Maybe that's like a word that I should know and it's just not coming to me. The Afterlife of Billy Fingers is an extraordinary example of extended after-death communication. It's one of the most powerful, liberating, and healing books on life after death I've ever read. Bill Guggenheim, co-author of Hello from Heaven. Billy's ongoing after-death communications take his sister on an unprecedented journey into the bliss and wonder of life beyond death. Billy's profound, detailed description of the mystical realms he traverses, of beings of light that await him, and the wisdom he receives take the reader beyond the near-death experience. Billy is indeed, as Dr. Raymond Moody points out in his foreword, explaining the phenomena we've known about since ancient times, an afterworld walker. A work of transcendent wisdom, irreverent humor, and sublime beauty. Miraba Starr, author of The Interior Castle and Dark Night of the Soul. I've read Dark Night of the Soul. A fascinating book, Dr. Raymond Moody from the foreword. A fascinating book, page turner filled with wisdom, humor, and hope. The Afterlife of Billy Fingers will forever change your views about life, death, and the hereafter. If I could give you a gift, it would be to find the glory inside yourself, beyond the roles and the drama, so you can dance the dance of the game of life with a little more rhythm, a little more abandon, a little more shaking those hips. I think that's a quote from Billy Fingers himself. My sisters haven't read it yet, and I know one of my sisters said she'll read it when she's ready. But I bought this right away after my brother died because I think it is one of those ones that is a little bit of it's not too heavy, it's not too much, and I think it's more of a comfort than not. I wish and hope that they read it soon because it really is a helpful book. I think it just eases things just even a little bit, if not lots. But yeah, so I hope my sisters read it soon. If you have read it before, let me know what you think. If you read it in the future, let me know what you think. And hopefully I'll hear from Zena. I know she started reading it at least yesterday. So hopefully we'll hear what she thinks of it soon, especially as she hasn't lost anyone right recently. It'll be interesting to see what she has to say about it. So yes, one of my favorites, definitely recommended at any time in your life. And we'll move on from that. And Mom says, hi, Lisa. Hi, Mommy. I would say happy Father's Day, but you're not a father. Okay, speaking of my friend Zena, she lent me this one, The Let Them Theory. And I can't remember what she said about it, but I'm going to read the synopsis to you. I've already taken photos of it, so I'm going to give it back to her, but I haven't listened to it yet. So this is the next one that I'm going to listen to. The reason I want to show it to you like this is because if I was showing it to you next week after I've listened to it, it would only be a picture of it because I'm giving her the book back. So 2 simple words will change how you think about your entire life. If you're struggling to achieve your goals or feel a little happier, the problem isn't you. The problem is the power you give to other people. In this book, you'll learn how 2 words, let them, can set you free. Free from the opinions, drama, and judgment of others. Free from the exhausting cycle of trying to manage everything and everyone around you. There is a better way to live. The let them theory is a proven method that teaches you how to protect your time and energy and focus on what matters to you. You've spent too long chasing approval, managing other people's happiness, and letting their opinions hold you back. Learn how to stop giving your power away and start creating a life where you come first. Your dreams, your goals, your happiness. Let Them is a simple tool that millions of people around the world can't stop talking about because it works. The fastest way to take control of your life is to stop trying to control other people and focus on what you can control, yourself. By letting other people live their lives, you finally get to live yours. And it's by Mel Robbins, New York Times bestselling author. So I will let you know how this is. Again, I am up into self-help books, so that is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to actually start listening to it right after I'm done my live. So now, not only can I listen to so many books, new and such, but Also, this is one of the books that was my favorite book as a child. I got it from school. So lots of times schools or libraries will get rid of books that aren't relevant anymore or that they don't fit the curriculum or whatever. And one of the things that they did when I was in elementary, which is called primary here, is that the books that they were giving away that they couldn't have at the school anymore, they would give them away as prizes if you were good or if you read a bunch of books or you did something, whatever. I can't remember exactly what I did to get this one, but this is one of a few that I got from school for doing something extra or whatever. And this one was one of my favorite books when I was growing up. And there wasn't very many books that I read, so that's part of it. But this one is called Dusty, a novel by Frank D. Davison. That is a dingo. Well, that dog on there is actually a cross between a dingo and uh, it's like, so it's an Australian dog and it's a cross between a half dingo, the wild dog of Australia, and a domesticated ranch dog, which is a Kelpie, like an Australian sheepdog. So this is crazy because I'll tell you in a second when I do this. So listening to it now, all these years later, it's a bit like, oh wow, because this book, see, look, good job. 1988, that's when I got it. So I was 10 when I got this book. And then this is like these stickers that I used to have. I think they were from my Auntie Molly. Can't remember exactly, but I put them in books and put my name in it because that's what it says this book belongs to. So the thing is, this book is copyright 1946. This is the third impression. So I don't even know when it was written, but it was copyright 1946. So some things have changed. Reading a children's book from 1946, some of the things that happen in the wild and on a farm are not things that people would be happy with their kids reading about now. I mean, I'm not a kid and it's not a big deal to me, but it's just interesting how things change and what's accepted in the past is no longer accepted. Unfortunately, the back half of the writing from there has been cut off, but I will read the front part of what Dusty is about. It still is a really good book, though, but I don't know if it would be for a 10-year-old these days. Dusty, a novel by Frank Delby Davison. Dusty, the story of an Australian sheepdog, half Kelpie, the domesticated ranch dog, half dingo, the wild dog of Australia. In skilled and assured terms, Mr. Davison gives us the life cycle of his hybrid hero, Dusty, and his years of devotion to his master, Tom Lincoln. Lovingly, painstakingly trained by Tom, Dusty becomes a prize-winning sheepdog, and then he reverts and is no longer able to suppress the killer instinct inherent from his dingo mother. A strong appeal in the book is the fact that while the author is obviously a dog lover and savant, he does not expound about his four-legged friends in the muckishly sentimental strain of so many writers of animal stories. Dusty is written with the utmost matter-of-factness, and perhaps its finest and always unsentimental passages are those which deal with Dusty's violent conflict between his love for Tom and the call of the wild. Mr. Davison's new novel is a valuable addition to the library of serious dog literature, a worthy successor to Red Heifer. I don't know if Red Heifer is a book by him or not, but I really enjoyed it, and it does do the whole life cycle of Dusty, from birth to death of Dusty, and it is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. So I listened to that one. Now these are the ones I printed out. This is one that I listened to, and it's called What to Do When the Police Leave. A Guide to the First Days of a Traumatic Loss. Again, third edition by Bill Jenkins, with foreword by Patricia Cornwell. Homicide, suicide, car crash, tragic accident. A victim's father addresses the special needs of traumatic loss with insight and sensitivity. This book is not a very big book. Oh, I better not smile for this one. I'm going to actually do this too, and I'll put it here. but it's not a very big book, but it is very helpful. And I know that there was the other one that I read that was called What Now, and it was similar, but it was really big, and it's still a good, useful uh, tool. And what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tool, but like when you go back to it, reference tool, whatever. It is a good reference book and tool. This one has similar information, but this one I think is, even though it's smaller, it's written better, and I enjoyed this one a lot more than the other one. Then I listened to, well, I got this when I got Billy Fingers for my sisters. I got this one for my mom. I don't have this copy of it anymore, but I did take pictures of this copy. But I sent this to somebody a while ago, and it is Growing Up in Heaven by James Van Praagh, The Eternal Connection Between Parent and Child. This is a good one for if you, I'm just going to do this. This is a good one, not only if you lose a child. Like my mom, she started reading it right away, which made me very happy that she was reading it in her downtime when she had some time while we were there after my brother passed. And she did say like, oh, this seems to be more about like little kids, but it's not. If you read the whole thing, it's actually even good for any loss, but it does deal a little bit with kids of all ages. But a parent losing a child is never easy, no matter how old the child, the adult child, or anyone is. But it does deal with all ages. But yes, obviously in that it's dealing with child loss for younger children as well. But definitely a good read for any loss. And there's especially like a parent losing a child. So if you know somebody who has lost a child and you don't know how to help, it might be nice to get them a copy of that book. And no pressure for them to read it. It's in their own time, but I definitely recommend it. And then, like I said at the beginning of this, listening to all the spiritual books, you know, some are going to be all right and some aren't. The first one I listened to was 100 Years of National Spiritualism by Jean Bassett, MSNU. Okay, so at first, 100 Years of National Spiritualism. At first I was like, okay, like again, this has to do with like spiritualism and the spiritualist church, like I said, where we donated a bunch of books. Like, well, I say we, but like Feathers, Jackie and Steve. And, you know, we're not part of the spiritualist church, and it is like a religion, sort of. Like it is like a movement, a group, like specific, where there is things about it that a bit of rules and stuff, like where they follow certain things. It's not totally different from what I believe, but I don't like being in a structured culture like religion or whatever, where I don't feel like we need to have those rules. I feel like all religions, all beliefs lead to the same place. And there's a lot of dogma that goes into different religions. So I don't feel like something that is man-made is necessarily the right, the truth, the correct. And I don't feel like that should be pushed on anyone. That's my opinion. But listening to this book is crazy. So because not only was it the fight for spiritualism and mediums and the like, and it was done by the spiritualist movement, it was a lot like listening to things about witchcraft and everything else, like how many people, especially women, were murdered or condemned or whatever because of being a little bit different or believing something that wasn't the Christian religion. And I have to say, yeah, it was the Catholics, it was the Christians who were doing this to other people. Because the thing is, like, if you really believe that your Christian religion is the right way to go, that's fine. You can introduce people to it and try to show them that you think that's the right way to go, but it's absolutely different to not follow what your religion teaches you and take care of your neighbor and treat them with like respect. But then I also think it has to do with a power thing too, where it wasn't just about teaching your neighbors about the Christian beliefs and everything else. It was about condemning and even murdering people who didn't believe what you believe. And that in any religion is absolutely appalling. We can agree, and a lot of the people who I tend to associate with, I try to be around people who are very open-minded and loving to all people. So we can say that most religions are based on love, and most religions have the same philosophies for the most part. When you get any religion who is wanting to hurt or kill people in the name of their type of God or beliefs, that's an extremist, and that is not what. So whether it's Muslim or Christian or whatever, like they teach love. They don't teach to murder people and hurt people. So it is crazy how many people were condemned, even in the last 100 years, like even in the 40s still, where they were getting charged with like the Witchcraft Act still and stuff because of mediums. Now, I get about being a charlatan or like scamming people for money and everything else, but a lot of cults do that. I mean, a religion is that. Like all of us who don't believe the Catholic religion is the right way, the religions, all they do is get you to follow them, pay your money to the church, and tell you that their beliefs are the right ones. So if they're not 100% right about what is God and the afterlife and, you know, all of that, then are they not themselves kind of tricking people and getting money for it and everything else? Like, isn't it the same? So if you don't believe in the medium things, fine, but there is people who are like, if you're found to be defrauding people, that's completely different. But to punish people for practicing what they believe and getting even a fee for it is just absolutely unfair. So yeah, I think it's crazy, and I have to give credit to how many of these people in the spiritualist movement in the last 100 years have put their lives on the line to just try and be a free religion in their own sense, just like many religions are still now. How much blood has been spilt over the differences in religion, instead of just saying, why can't we both believe what we believe and live side by side? You know what I mean? There's room for everybody's gods. It's not like we have to I don't know. It's just insane to me that people will hate for different things. Even like sports teams, people will literally hate and be mean to other people because they don't believe, like the same sports teams as them. So it's just insane. So I want to give credit to how many of these people have fought for us just to be able to talk about witchcraft and be spiritualists and be mediums out in the open. And if you don't believe in that stuff, fine. But I think it's like freedom of religion and beliefs, right? Like if a Muslim doesn't believe what Catholics believe, they should still be able to practice their religion as long as it's not interfering or hurting anybody else. And if a Catholic believes what they believe and not what Muslims believe, then it's the same. But no one religion is better than any other one. But in certain areas of the world, people of that religion try to take over and act like theirs is the right one and theirs is better. And anything that oppresses people and forces people to, you know, believe a certain thing and everything else, it's just not right. It's just not right. We need to learn to love each other and build each other up and make room for everybody, even if you knew something was right. And okay, like look what's happening in the States right now with Trump. Whether you like him or you don't, there's a reason for both things. The reason that so many people voted for Trump and support Trump doesn't mean that they're bad people or wrong people, in my opinion, because I don't support Trump and I don't like him, but they have their reasons for doing that. So instead of hating on them or calling them idiots or whatever, how about finding out why they voted the way they did and what makes them think that way? Because most people are just normal people who want the best for them and their family. So it's the same with religion. Like a lot of people who believe in a certain religion is because they were raised that way to believe it, not because if they were given the choice, they would actually believe it. And then, like I said, even in the end, you can have 5 people and they're all going to believe different things. That doesn't mean any of them are right or any of them are wrong. It just means that they're different. There's no reason that you can't all get along. I don't know. Like I said, at first I thought, oh, this is going to be a boring book. And then after, I got to give them the credit, even though I don't want to be part of the spiritualist church, I got to give them the credit that they deserve because they did really fight the way for us to be able to be mediums and practice the stuff that we're able to practice without being condemned or put in prison or even killed for believing things that aren't mainstream religion. So thank you to them. So it was a very good book. Now this one is the last one that I just listened to. It's called The Deeper Surrender. And it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's Notes on a Spiritual Life by Stuart Perrin. Deeper Surrender is an original, inspired, and accessible spiritual guidebook for growth and transformation, told from Perrin's own experience and his own words. John Gray, author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, says that. So the author studied under, you would say guru, but he wouldn't want to call himself a guru because he believes that he's just like anybody else. But it was his teacher who he studied under until his teacher's death, and he brought his teacher's beliefs and a little bit of his own and what he's learned along the way. It's based basically on oh no, I don't want to get this wrong. I don't think it's Buddhist. I don't know if it's Hindu, but it's very, yeah, I'm going to have to let you know because I didn't print out any more than that and my phone's right there. But I don't believe in some of the things that they talked about, but overall, the general advice in it is really good and inspiring. And again, like I said, like it doesn't matter what religion you practice, most of them are based in love. And if you study different religions, you'll see that like how many of them are very, very similar and have the same overall messages and stuff. So why not? I want to say it's Hindu, but why not listen or read books about different religions and see the similarities? It does not mean you need to convert to that, but you would be surprised how many religions are so very similar to each other. And you would even be surprised how many characters in the different books are very similar or overlap even. So yeah, I mean, like I said, that isn't my total straight beliefs, but a lot of the stuff again overlaps with what I do believe, and it was a really good listen. So yeah, it was a good listen. So if you come across that book or you're interested in getting it, then definitely it was not a bad book to listen to. So I'll keep letting you know what books I'm listening to and what I think of them. And I have not read this Best Dad Ever. What is it? Is it poems? I don't know. Dad, you're 1 in a million. You're the best hug giver, the ultimate counselor, and the biggest fan. In this book, you'll find a collection of heartwarming quotes that celebrate dads in all their glory, as well as just some of the reasons why I think you're the best ever. Let's just flip to a page. Old as she was, she still missed her daddy sometimes. Quote by Gloria Naylor. True. When I come home, my daughter will run to the door and give me a big hug, and everything that's happened that day just melts away. Hugh Jackman. Very nice. Appreciate the dads that are still out there if they haven't passed away, and if they have, you can still send them love or wherever you believe that they are now. I hear an airplane going overhead. So Steve made a couple curries last night, and I made pilau rice from scratch, and that is what we did for Father's Day dinner. We had everybody here, and we told the kids to bring sides to add to it, and they did, and we had naan bread and papadums, and so we had a nice like curry dinner. Very delicious. If I am hungry later, that is what I'll be having. And what else? Oh, and listening to my book. And maybe watching TV with Steve when he gets home, but maybe not staying up too late. But who knows? It's supposed to be nice this week. And the other thing is, like, with the nicer weather that we're having, even the temperatures at night not going too low, like they're staying in the teens, the air will be warmer. And that means the plunge pool is perfect for me to plunge in. But if I get too hot during the day and when I'm gardening, then I can definitely soak my legs or what have you. But I'm not allowed to get this wet, so I won't be plunging just yet. It is already June 13th, 14th, 15th. So like we're halfway through June already. I can't believe it. I told you guys this happened. Spring is great, but summer just goes by too quickly. technically for some of you, it's not summer yet until June 21st, but trust me, it's going by quickly already. So hopefully though, in the next few months, we do get some really nice weather and I get to enjoy the plunge pool, because before you know it, it's going to be August, September, and we're going to be visiting my sister and her husband and family in Ireland, and my mom, and then me going back to Canada for a bit and everything else. And summer is just going to go so quickly. I still have a lot to do in the garden. It is mostly done, but there's still a lot of maintenance and cleaning up and catching up and everything else. And I need to go and visit our daughter Amy and her husband James's garden and see what they have a beautiful garden. They've only lived there for a year, and I just need to go around and make a list of things that they should probably do right now just to keep things in check, because it is a big garden. They will get used to doing all the things, but it can be overwhelming at first, especially. So even if there's just a few things that will help them maintain it until they can do some of the bigger jobs, or once they get used to doing everything around there. What else plans we have? So painting class. Me and Steve want to go visit his dad as well one of these weekends. And June. What is coming up in June? Well, Father's Day, but that's today. And my brain has gone kind of blank, so I'm not thinking of anything specific coming up in June or even early July. Erica's birthday is coming up, and she will be 17. So that's crazy, as well as my niece, Shay. And then my nephew, Brock, will be 17 in September. And there's other kids that were born that year, too. There's 6 of them that most of them are cousins, and one of them is a family friend's son, and they're all born in the same year. So they're all turning 17 this year if they haven't already. It's that's interesting, and we do want to get a picture of all 6 of them together one of these times, but all of them are in Canada except Erica, so it's on us. It was interesting today because it's Father's Day. The family always gets together we try to get together for birthdays and everything, and it turns out to be about once a month that we get together. And so today it was interesting because it was Father's Day, and you don't do cake on Father's Day like you do on birthdays, but a few of us were sitting there thinking, I'm really craving cake, because you just, like, association, I guess, that there should be cake with us gathering. So thank you to Tom, my stepson, who ran out and got some cake so we could have some cake for Father's Day. And Steve didn't even have any because he's eating healthy. Congratulations to him too. He's lost 3 stone already, which is 1 stone is 14 pounds. So 14 times 3 is, I don't know, 28.52. Is that right? I have to hang on. 28 plus 14. So 28, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So 42 pounds. So congratulations to him for losing that much already. And don't worry, I found it. He lost it. I found it. It's right here. Hence why we need to get on this eating healthy and working out and getting strong. I still have pretty good muscles from working in the garden, but I can do better. So, and the tan, you can't see it on there, but it is a little bit like, darker on my here, even the contrast like that. No, it doesn't really show up well on the camera with the bright light. Listen to music. Don't forget to listen to music. If you guys have any songs that you think that I should add to a playlist, send me a song. What are you listening to right now? What is a song that is in your head, or that you keep coming back to, that you can't get out of your head, that you love to listen to right now? Let me know, and maybe I'll make a playlist with some of the suggestions. Steve was talking about today about me doing more videos with gardening and stuff like that, and I just, it's hard because I want to be me. I want to do what comes natural. I know anything that's worth something will take work, but I don't know what direction my life is supposed to go in right at the moment. But I will, keep up with everything and try and do things. And as you guys know, journaling is really important to me, and catching up on my journals, especially if I was to die yesterday, I would want all my journals in order. So I'm going to keep up with that as well, trying to make the garden less high maintenance so I can work on things. The miniature thing is just on hold for a moment, but it's not done or out of the way. I do need to finish the the fruit and veg stand, which is very exciting. And I need to get my butt in gear and get some guests on my lives, don't I? Because I like those. I like my friends. That's why they're my friends. And I can even think of new people who haven't been on that could be on. And we can even get the old ones on too, because my favorite people are my favorite people for a reason. So yeah, there's no reason not to have guests except my laziness in making sure that they're available and ready. So keep me, kick my butt. That it's itchy from having the bandage on, so I have some anti-itch cream that I can put on when I'm done here. Also, as you know, my sister-in-law Tara is going to keep kicking my butt to get our wills in order as well. So do you have a will? If something happens, you never know when or how or who, so we all need to have our wills in order. So let's work on that together again too. Starting next week, I'm going to have a schedule, and we'll start the end of life questions again, and ask me next week, and I will have an outline for my will and need to start doing some of that. A lot of the information, especially financial and stuff, Steve's going to have to do the outline and the general stuff like that until we get it all sorted and in order so that we can get it done legally. But keep me accountable to that, all right? So we have some things to work on today. For you, if you want to do something, it can be something minor. You don't have to like start journaling, start doing self-help, start working out, do your will, do all these things all at once. Just maybe try drinking water more this week, like a little bit, even in the mornings or before you go to bed or something. Just something small. I don't know, but do something to improve yourself, your day, and like you are living the life, like the life that you want is up to you, and you're living every day already, whether you like it or not. So why not make the days enjoyable to you? Look for the little things as well. So, the things that you're grateful for, 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. You can do it in the mornings from the day before, or you can do it at the end of the day before you go to sleep. Some things you're grateful for. You can write them down. You can tell someone, like your partner or whoever, or you can do a voice recording on your phone or whatever, or you can just think about them. Just think before you fall asleep of 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for that happened in that day. Even, let me think for today. 1, the family being together, everybody being here, that they could all come. That was great. 2, that I get to visit with you guys and do this live, and that I have all the accessibility, including the internet, to be able to do this. 3, that I have really yummy food, and I have pop to drink, which is my favorite, and I even could have more food, and we got cake. 4, books to read, and like, just I feel like with Speechify and listening to books and everything else, like overwhelmingly awesome with having so much choice, and I'm so excited to listen to so many books that I've waited so long to read and that I can actually get to them. And 5 is that my surgery went well and that it's healing really well, and I haven't even had to take painkillers today. That's how good this is healing. So those are 5 things that I can write in my journal. I've told you guys, and I think we're almost at the hour. About, like I said, I'm getting serious about things. We're at 48 minutes, but I don't know if I have much more to ramble about. I'm getting serious about things, and you guys are going to keep me accountable, and I'm going to try and keep you accountable. If you want me to, we can do things together. Even if there's only one of these areas that you want to work on, then let me know. This is the table here, and like all my journaling stuff is there, and I can journal outside or in my greenhouse. And I don't know why I didn't think of this, but my friend Dina, when she came over and did a tour of the garden and the greenhouse and stuff, she loved the greenhouse, and she's like, oh, you can paint in here. And why didn't I think of that? Yeah, I could paint in there. I journal in there. Why can't I do some of my art in there? I never even thought. The lighting would be great too. But also and she said that her mom used to dry clothes in their greenhouse, and she had a smaller greenhouse, but like, I can't remember what they call them, the like things that you can hang clothes on, but we have a thing that you can open the racks and put the stuff on to hang clothes to dry. Yeah, the greenhouse, it's warmer, so the clothes will dry faster. With the doors open, the air will still, like the wind and stuff will still get in there. And if it rains, you don't have to run out and grab your clothes off the line because it's undercover. So Why didn't I think of that? Also, because it's summertime and I don't use a greenhouse as much for plants, because things don't need to be in there for overwintering and it's too hot for a lot of plants. There's only a few that stay in there for the summer. I am trying to move some stuff out there so I can put a little bed in there, just a fold-up bed that I can open and have a little nap in there. Steve says I'm not allowed because then he'll never see me, because all I like to do is be in the garden and sleep. Those are what I'm good at. So he says I'm not allowed, but I'm going to do it anyways, because he's not my boss. But I'll make sure that I still spend lots of time with him. But I want to put a day bed in there so that I can have maybe a nice afternoon nap, or lie there and read or listen to my books, and maybe even lie there at night and look at the stars, but not sleep out there because I would miss being with Steve. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm going to try that out. And I can even lock the greenhouse so I don't have to worry about somebody coming and kidnapping me or anything if I stay out there. I'm not going to sleep out there overnight because, like I said, I want to sleep next to Steve, but just saying. So I'm excited about that, to put a little bed in there for a little bit, just for, even if I do it for a week, it's still kind of exciting. But I got to clean more stuff out of there and put it in the shed. So that, oh, that reminds me, Steve's not going to work tomorrow, so he's going to work on Tuesday, that he was going to look at work for some shelves for me to put into the shed so that I can organize some stuff, and that would be get some more stuff out of the greenhouse, and then I can get the bed out of the caravan and put it in there. Very exciting, so I'll let you know how that goes too. Maybe we'll come to you from the garden next week because it is still light outside even now. But who knows what we're going to do next week. And like I said, happy Father's Day. Anything else? No, I don't think so. So I will see you guys next week when this is going to be even better, more healed. And hopefully I'll have a guest. Maybe I'll come to you from the garden. Who knows what's happening? Today is the 15th of June. So that means next Sunday is the 22nd of June. So I will see you then. All right. Love you guys. Have a good day. Mom's putting happy hearts and stuff on here. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a great week.